So before applying any eyeshadow, I want to make sure that all of this stays on to my lids as long as possible. So I'm just going to prime it with MAC's Paint Pot in Soft Ochre. Because I'm going to be applying some of the eyeshadow and smoking it all out in my lower lash line, I'm going to apply some of the product there as well. I'm going to start off by applying peanut butter from the Too Faced Semi-Sweet Chocolate palette and applying it above my crease with my MAC 217 brush. To highlight my brow bone, I'm going to use this matte white eyeshadow called Coconut Creme from the same palette and pack it on with a Sephora eyeshadow brush. Next, for our transition shade, I'm going to grab Truffled, a matte brown color, onto my 217 brush and blend that into my crease. So you can see how I'm blending and slowly working from a light to dark shade, creating a seamless gradient. Next, I'm going to apply a Hot Fudge color, which is brown with minimal shimmer, and apply that onto my crease and slightly blending it onto the beginning of my lids. Notice that I'm not being neat when applying this because it will be covered by the black later on. The more blending, the more gradient effect that we will have, and it will look so much better. Before smoking out my bottom lash line, I'm going to use peanut butter as my transition shade and apply it with a flat eyeshadow brush from Sephora. So to smoke out my lower lash line, I'm going to use Licorice and slowly work my way towards a darker look. As you can see, I'm packing on the eyeshadow very slowly because black can be super unforgiving and hard to go back on. The last thing I want is to pull off raccoon looking eyes. Again, I'm taking that matte black color Licorice from the Semi-Sweet Chocolate palette and packing this color onto my lid. You can see that I'm merely pressing this pigmented eyeshadow to prevent as much fallout as possible, even though I haven't applied any foundation at all. So I'm packing the bottom of my lid and switching to a tapered fluffy brush from Sephora to blend my way into that nice gradient and fade. Obviously, I still failed and made a bit of a boo-boo there, but that's okay. I'm just going to continue blending that onto my crease. You guys can start to see that I'm creating that nice gradient and a nice fade. And then I'm going to apply more of that black eyeshadow on the bottom of my lid, and then switching my brush again to that tapered fluffy brush from Sephora and blending my way up. Because that eyeshadow was so dark, I felt like I needed to go back and add more to my transition shade, which was the peanut butter color from the Too Faced Semi-Sweet Chocolate palette. Next, I'm going to use this beautiful shimmery white single shadow from Sephora to highlight my inner corners. So I decided to apply some of my Inglot gel liner in number 77, but this step is totally unimportant since there's so much black going onto my lids, but I went ahead anyways real sloppily. I just felt like this would somewhat disguise my falsies. I don't know. So I'm going to take my Ardell Lash Glue and my Ardell Lashes from the Demi collection, whatever it's called, and apply that onto my lids. So to kind of blend my real lashes with my falsies, I'm going to go ahead and apply my Unique mascara, and just apply the transplanting gel, going ahead with the fibers, and then sealing it all in with the gel. Again, you guys know the drill, but I'm just concentrating on my lower lashes since I have no falsies there. I want to make sure that my eyes look as dark as possible, so I'm using NYX's eye pencil in 901 Black and just going to tight line and align my lower lash line. That's about it for the eyes. I'm just going to use my Real Techniques powder brush and blend away any of the fallout. I wanted to have a flawless base, so I'm going ahead with MAC Studio Fix Fluid in NC35, a full coverage foundation, and applying it with my Real Techniques concealer brush. Yeah, so I totally forgot to use a primer or pore filler when filming this, which I usually do before applying foundation, but that's okay because I'm fine without it. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and blend that out with a beauty blender. So I decided to go ahead with my drugstore highlight and contouring routine. I'm using Maybelline's Age Rewind Concealer in the shade Light and applying that to my cheekbones, my chin, the bridge of my nose, and my forehead, and then blending it all out with my Beauty Blender. So if you guys are interested in seeing a contouring routine with both the high-end and drugstore products, let me know or comment down below or even give it a thumbs up. For my contour, I'm just going to use Maybelline Stick Foundation in a number 355 and apply that to the hollows of my cheeks. Notice how I'm bringing that in towards my nose, just so I have the illusion of higher looking cheekbones, and then going ahead and applying it on my jawline and my forehead. So I was blending with my beauty blender till that, and it dropped on the floor. I didn't have time to wash it, so I just decided to go in with my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush and blending out that contour. I'm not usually a huge fan of sparkly bronzers, but I am obsessed with this. It is from The Balm. It's called the Bronzing Bandit. So I'm just going to take my Sephora powder brush and apply this to where I previously applied my cream or foundation contour. So leave it to me to forget something. I obviously forgot to contour my nose, so I'm going to go back in with my Maybelline Stick Foundation and start contouring my nose. I usually just use my fingertips to blend out the contours of my nose because I feel like it's just better for me anyways, so yep. So to set my highlight, I'm just going to use NYX's Stay Matte But Not Flat Powder Foundation in the shade Light and using my Real Techniques setting brush to apply the product. To add some color back into my cheeks, I'm going to go ahead and use the blush from my Beauty Box palette by Lancome and applying the blush called A Plum with a Sephora blush brush. So for the lips, I'm going to obviously start off with some chapstick to moisturize before applying any of the lipstick, and I'm going to be using YSL's Rouge Volupte Shine Lipstick in number 1 Nude Beige. It's a pigmented, really moisturizing lipstick. I'm obviously running low, so I kind of had to scoop it out with my fingers and apply it on. I seriously am obsessed with highlighting, so I'm just going to go ahead and apply some of MAC's Luster Drops in Pink Rebel. And again, applying that to where I highlight, which is my cheekbones, the bridge of my nose, my chin, and a little bit onto my forehead. Finally, to make sure that this look stays flawless and on for as long as possible, I'm going to set it with Makeup Forever's Mist and Fix spray and kind of fan myself, making sure that's all dry. And there you go, that's the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Try it out yourselves and let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!